everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here. This is Detroit AllyCat, and it's supposed to be Spooky Saturday, but that didn't work out, so we are doing Wild Card Sunday. So I kind of have a spooky, not really spooky story for you, kind of like a feel-good story. I thought it was really cute. I hadn't seen anybody cover it, and I decided that I should cover it. So without further ado, let's get spooky. So I'm just going to be straight up with you. I am wearing my pajamas. I did this whole thing yesterday. I have some new equipment that I was playing around with, and I put my tablet by my microphone, and I think I picked up on somebody else's radio frequency, which I really should have played it for you because it sounded like it should have been in a horror movie. So I knew I had to get dressed and do this whole thing again, and I did my makeup and I did my hair, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this in my pajamas because it's not a big, huge, long story. It's kind of a quick little thing, and I thought, you know what? You're not really gonna care. And if you do care, then this is the wrong channel for you because I look cute in my pajamas, okay? Alright, so let's talk about the story. This story is about a cat named Room 8. In 1952, in Echo Park, California, there is an elementary school called Elysian Heights Elementary. I hope I said that right. I had a little bit of a hard time with it. I know it seems like it's easy, but, you know, I have been having a hard time with everything. And it has a very interesting past, and it has a very interesting story that goes with this elementary school. 1952, everybody was waiting outside to come into the classroom and be a part of school, and this cat wandered inside the school, and it went to one of the rooms. It went to room 8, and it sat down with the kids, and the teacher was like, I don't know if I should let this cat be here, but the cat looked a little bit like he hadn't eaten in a while. He looked kind of scruffy. He definitely needed like some love. So the teacher gave the cat some milk, and all of the kids like opened up their lunch boxes and gave him treats and like goodies and stuff like that. And the teacher decided, you know what, I'm just gonna let this cat stay here for today because it seems to actually calm the kids down and make them pay attention to everything more. And the cat just sat in class all day, and the kids were totally great with it. And so they thought, you know what, this is going to be a one-day thing. At the end of the day, the cat left with the kids, and they were like, well, that was kind of cool. And they thought that, you know what, they would never see the cat again. Well, the next day, right at 8 o'clock, when the kids came into the school, the cat was waiting at the door with the kids. So they opened up the door, and sure enough, the cat ran back to room 8 and sat down and was part of the class. Now, everybody in the school was starting to get attached to the cat because not only did it stay in room 8, it started wandering the halls, going to classroom, and everyone started to really love them. And the only person who even objected is a couple of the teachers, which doesn't it figure a couple of the teachers would object, but they all decided that the cat would stay. And when the teachers and the kids that had originally found the cat all sat down and were like, well, what do we name this cat? And they were like, well, it's our cat, and this is room 8. So the cat was named Room 8. And it was so weird because the cat, every day, the cat would come to the school at 8 o'clock when it opened up, would go to school, and then when it was time to leave, it would leave. And it would do that for, I believe, around 20 years. Now, somewhere in the mix, one of the teachers ended up adopting the cat and it stayed with them. This was in its later years just because it was older. But it has such a cool history because the cat ended up becoming famous. And so, like, the Los Angeles Times actually did a story about the cat, and everybody found out about Room 8. And at one time, Room 8 received 10,000 fan mail to the school, basically, like, talking to the cat, asking questions about the cat. So the student body, like, actually had the job of responding to the cat's fan mail, which I think is really cool because, I mean, you're, like, writing letters and it's kind of like homework, but it's fun and you're, like, learning at the same time. And so what's also really cool is in some of this fan mail, there were donations given to Room 8 for his vet care and his food. And there were so many donations that were given to Room 8. They actually helped build, like, part of the library. They supplied the school with more supplies. So Room 8 became, like, the mascot of this school. And they ended up taking his paws and they had pressed them into cement. Like, you know, like Hollywood, how they have the stars write their names out and stuff. They have a cement thing of Room 8's paws, and it's still in this elementary school to this day. So 5 years, I believe he was 15 years old, he ended up getting into kind of like a cat, like, fight, like a big cat, like, throwdown. And because he got into this fight, he ended up getting really sick. And the school took him to the vet all the time. They had taken it upon themselves to make sure that Room 8 was always taken care of. But they found out that, you know, he had pneumonia. So that's actually how he ended up getting his home, is because they decided he needed to be an indoor cat. And so the house that he ended up living in was actually, like, I think a couple houses away from the elementary school. And still, even after he was adopted to his forever home, he still wanted to come to the school. So he came to the school, and he had 5 more years that he lived after that. Obviously, because this is a story that started in 1952, Mr. Room 8 did pass away at the ripe old age of 22 years old. And the Herald Times said that his funeral was bigger than any congressman or senators in the area. He is actually buried in the Calabasas Pet Cemetery, and he has, like, this gravestone and this memorial, and it's really kind of cute, and it says right on there, Room 8. And I just thought that was such a cool story because, you know, you don't really hear about, like, cats being, like, heroes or whatever. So they, this is a story about a cat that went and visited kids at school and made everybody happy. And I think that all schools should have cats go there and visit them and make everybody happy, because I think that, you know, I think animals have a lot of therapeutic things that they do for people, and that actually calm them down and they help them focus and relieve stress. But that's just me, and I thought this story was really cool. I hope you like this story. I hope that you will think about subscribing and leaving a comment. Leave me a like if you like this story. Tell me if you liked my pajamas. I think they're kind of cute. Sorry, I just didn't want to get dressed up again. I'm a little scared that this isn't going to work because I've just been having one of those weeks where, like, everything is, like, not working. So I figured, you know, at least I didn't get dressed up. But I do want to let you know that I have some really big stories that I'm going to do next week that I've been working on, and I'm excited about it. So please keep tuned in, and I can't wait to see you next week. And as always, stay safe and stay spooky.